Pony Express. Check out their line of penetration testing devices, including the Pwn Pad, Pwn Phone, and Pwn Pro. For enterprises, there's Pwn Pulse, providing continuous visibility into wired, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth spectrums across all physical locations, including remote sites and branch offices. For all those hard-to-reach places, there's Pony Express. Visit them on the web at ponyexpress.com. Gain control of cyber risk with Tenable.io, the first vulnerability management platform built for today's elastic assets like cloud, containers, and web apps. Discover a fresh, asset-based approach that prioritizes vulnerabilities while seamlessly integrating into your environment. And improve ROI with the first elastic licensing approach based on assets, not IP addresses. Tenable.io delivers the data and context you need to secure your elastic attack surface. Start your free Tenable.io trial today by visiting Tenable.io. Logarithm's Netmon Freemium delivers real-time network visibility to quickly identify emerging threats in your IT environment. Netmon Freemium is a free commercial-grade network forensics and traffic analytics solution. You can use Netmon Freemium's powerful capabilities to search against all observed network traffic, identify abnormal traffic patterns and application usage, and quickly analyze full packet captures. Take the first step towards real-time network visibility. Visit logarithm.com/freemium to learn more and download it today. In order to deliver the maximum degree of privacy, personal data must be protected without action from an individual. In fact, this requirement is defined in the General Data Protection Regulation, also known as GDPR. What if you could reliably and efficiently build privacy into your information security programs by default? StealthBits Technologies provides solutions that allow data to be collected and used in a manner that achieves GDPR compliance. Privacy by design and by default is not just a GDPR requirement, it's the foundation of StealthBits Technologies. Visit stealthbits.com to learn more today. Welcome back, everyone, to Enterprise Security Weekly. Make sure you check out Wild West Hackin' Fest, wildwesthackinfest.com, HACKINFest.com. Now, John, ticket sales are still ongoing, or I know you were looking at a new venue. Like, you sold a lot of tickets.
No. Yeah, we sold a lot of tickets. We have plenty of space.
Okay.
Originally, we were going to hold it to 300 people to try to keep it small. But then we thought, and it was kind of funny because everyone was like, oh my God, if we have more than 300, it's going to be chaos. And then they remembered that they worked for me and they work with you, and we kind of thrive on chaos. Yes. So we're now going to take it all the way up to 500, which is the maximum capacity of the place.
Sweet.
And so we're doing fine.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You should just attend. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
So security policies and procedures. You know, what's interesting, John, when I started my security career and started researching security in general, and a lot of the fundamental recommendations, everyone said, well, you need to have security policies and procedures before you can do everything. And I was like, yes, we should have security policies and procedures. Still to this day, I really don't think I know how to do that effectively for every single organization on the planet, because it involves risk, it involves communication with the entire organization. And while it is one of the fundamental things, I really think it's one of the most difficult things to implement and maintain in an organization to set forth policies and procedures.
Well, and I know that a lot of people, whenever we said at the beginning of the show, and we're going to talk about policies and procedures, they're like, oh, God, time to run. But it doesn't have to suck that bad. I mean, the 20 critical controls, or now the CIS controls, whatever they're calling them now, and the stuff that's available at the Audit Scripts website, the spreadsheets, make it easy to identify what types of things need to be in your policies and procedures. And also online, there are tons of templates. So for most organizations that haven't actually gotten into policies and procedures yet, especially on the policy side, it doesn't really have that much to do with, gosh, this is really hard, guys. It's more in line that they're just lazy and they haven't actually gone and pulled down the templates that are available. Excuse me.
Now, is the NIST, you referenced a NIST framework at one time, John.
NIST 853?
Is that the attack framework?
No. That's like NIST 60 NIST 860 something. I think it's like 68.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But NIST 853 is kind of the heart of the NIST framework. Mm-hmm. And it basically ties together all the things that should be in existence at an organization. And the cool thing about the 20 critical controls, specifically the spreadsheets at Audit Scripts, are that it actually ties together. Actually, do you just want me to show you guys? I can do this with a screen share if you guys give me a second.
Sure.
Let's do it this one.
But and also, I think a lot of time was spent early on learning about security, and they would spend a lot of time talking about the difference between policies and procedures. And I think policies are like the what and procedures are the how. Is the best way to think of that?
I think that that's right. So whenever you're looking at policies, processes, and procedures, if you're actually breaking it down, an analogy that we like to use quite a bit is we have a policy in our organization that we make pies. The process is the actual recipe and the directions on how to make pies. And the procedures are the specific directions on how to use the oven, how to use the mixer,
Right.
how to use a microwave. So that's kind of an analogy on how you can break that down. So you'd have a policy is that we have intrusion detection in our organization. The process is the overall process for how we're going to use intrusion detection, our escalation procedures or alerting procedures. And then the procedures themselves that are referenced in the process are the specific instructions on how to access the IDS system, how to update the IDS system, and so on.
Gotcha.
So let me go to Skype here real quick, and let me share some stuff here. Let's see if I can actually share my screen. And
it sounds like this is an area where you can get the fundamental frameworks for all of this online, basically. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, all of this stuff is extremely easy to do. So I'm now sharing my screen, so hopefully you guys can see it here. Let me drop this down.
I see the Skype logo of...
Yeah, I don't know why it's just the Skype logo. It should be saying I am sharing my screen. There. Now you should be able to see it.
Give it a second to update.
No.
Wait.
Actually, it's weird. It's actually, in my Skype view, it's my video and my screen at the same time.
Interesting.
That's really weird. So shut off my video. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So apparently Skype screen share has decided that it's not going to work at all. Stop sharing screens. Forget it. And to hell with it. And here is my video coming back. And it looks like my video is not coming. Oh, there's my video. All right. So that didn't work.
20 critical controls.
Audit scripts. Yep. So audit scripts by James Tralla and Kelly Tralla, they have these spreadsheets. If you do a Google search for audit scripts, 20 critical controls, they have 2 spreadsheets there. The first spreadsheet is their actual, it's actually their main worksheet. It's called the Manual Assessment Tool, and everybody should go and get this. It breaks down all of the 20 critical controls into each tab on the bottom, and then it says that your policy should have these various things established. And you can make sure that your policies have those. In addition to that, there's another spreadsheet called the Security Control Master Mappings.
Yep.
And it actually maps the 20 critical controls across the NIST 853 framework, the NIST Cybersecurity Framework, the SMB Guide, NSA, Australia requirements, HIPAA, NERC, SIP, you name it. It's cross-mapped there. So this is helpful because if you're trying to establish your policies and you pull down templates and you start arguing in your organization about why are we doing X because some standard tells us to do this, you can now say, well, it's not just the 20 critical controls that say to do this. It's also cross-mapped to NIST. It's cross-mapped to the NSA. It's cross-mapped to the Department of Homeland Security. It's cross-mapped over to PCI. So it's no longer a personal argument between the security team and somebody who's implementing it. Now those people that are arguing, let's say the implementers, are arguing with every single compliance standard across the planet. So that it gives you a lot more leverage politically when you're trying to argue to get certain policies in place in your organization. So I hope that makes sense.
Absolutely. And that's auditscripts.com?
I believe it's auditscripts.com.
Yeah,
it might have a dash. Let me find it.
No,
is it auditscripts?
It's auditscripts.com. Yep. Under free resources.
Yep, free resources, and they're 20 critical control scripts. And James and Kelly are fantastic. We actually give a lot of audit and compliance work to them because they're the absolute best in the world at it.
And now, describe for me some of the various NIST frameworks that you really like and recommend to people, John.
Oh, wait, let me go up. It's called the NIST 800 series. And the NIST 800 series has all of the different NIST, has all the different frameworks that exist, everything from intrusion detection to secure identities that is available. So let me actually pull up. This should have all the different documents. I know that NIST 853 is the main one. Also, the other one is the NIST 800 171 is another one that I really, really like. That a lot of vulnerability assessment scanners actually help meet that. Here we go. Here we got the publications, special publications. Let me go to the 800 for computer security, and I'll pull it up.
Oh,
but I would say the
NIST,
the NIST 800 171 for monitoring and assessment is a good one. And for some reason, the NIST website is not loading the 800 series for me. Oh, there they are. There's one for security assessments, and I can't remember what that one's number is off the top of my head. But that one's actually pretty good because whenever we're doing penetration tests, if somebody pushes back, we can say, well, this is what NIST says. Shouldn't we at least do that? And this is something we've been talking about for years in SANS 560.
Gotcha.
So use these as different tools, I guess, to try to get things in place. So here's one that I like that came out a couple of years ago, a guide to application whitelisting. So if you ever have anybody that's fighting you in application whitelisting, you can say, look, we actually have a NIST guidance document on how to actually implement that. So that is one that we've recommended to some of our customers as well.
Yeah, because I feel like when you're defining policies and procedures, you need some kind of guide, right? And if you describe a policy that you're like, well, how do I do that? And then how do I even begin with the procedures? You can go to a NIST document that says, hey, if you want to do application whitelisting, you're like, wow, that really helps me execute on my policy and define what I'm going to do my procedures. That's a great resource. So there was also an attack framework one. What was the attack framework one, John, where you said it went through all of the various attacks? What was that one?
Oh, that's a MITRE.
That's a MITRE guide.
MITRE.
Okay.
Yep, that's MITRE attack. Hold on.
Bless you.
Oh, God.
No worries.
The MITRE framework?
Yes.
If you do MITRE attack matrix, they actually have the techniques matrix. That's the one that you want to look at there. So if you have an internal red team and you want to come up with a consistent guideline on what you're going to test, then this particular techniques matrix is a really, really good one.
And I feel like that's a good resource to have when you're defining policies and procedures as well. Understand what attacks are out there in a standard way.
And
kind
I think
of working
that this is
backwards,
a hell of a
right?
lot more. Yeah, and I think that this is a hell of a lot more useful than threat intelligence. And this is a type of threat intelligence, to be completely honest and fair. But threat intelligence trying to identify specific actors and the techniques that they're using is stupid. Whereas if we could put all of the techniques together and then we can develop frameworks to detect the techniques that a lot of these attackers are using, because everyone thinks the techniques that a specific attacker is going to use is going to be specific to just that attacker. And it's not. They're going to reuse the same techniques across multiple different attackers. So the techniques matrix and MITRE is just fantastic.
This is great. So if you're looking to develop security policies and procedures in your overall security strategy, 3 great resources, compliments of John. Auditscripts.com was one that we talked about, and I'll put links in the show notes as well. The NIST 800 series of publications is good, and the MITRE attack matrix. And that's a great start to reviewing all of those and developing your security policy procedures and really your overall security architecture and just things to consider when you're doing your security strategy. It's awesome.
Very cool.
I love it. Thank you, everyone, for watching Enterprise Security Weekly and or listening to Enterprise Security Weekly. That concludes this episode. We'll see everyone next time.